depending on what season of your life you are in, is when you release different prayers. So I want to ask you this question and give you an opportunity to kind of share based on some things that we talked about last week and things that we're going into this week. Why do you feel that it is important that God dismantles prayers with leverage? Why do you feel it's important that God dismantles prayers that have leverage? All right, let's go a little further. One thing is momentum cannot flow through divided authority. Momentum, remember we're talking about momentum. I just happen to be teaching on prayer, but it is still connected to our momentum series. But momentum cannot flow through divided authority. Cannot flow through divided authority. I want to give you some key scriptures tonight. One is Exodus 14, 1 through 4. Then we have Deuteronomy 29 and 29. Another one is Job 23, 8 through 10. Another one is 2 Corinthians 12 and 9. So in Exodus chapter 14, verse 1 through 4, this is a place where God positions the Israelites, the children of Israel, where retreat is impossible. When we are at the edge of prayer, God will position us where retreat is impossible. It is important that for whatever season we're in, when God is causing us to move or we are in that place of transition, when we stand at the edge of prayer, that retreat cannot be an option. Because if we retreat at the edge of prayer, we don't get to walk into the fullness of what God is saying and doing in the promises of God. We don't even get to see how God is going to show himself in that moment if we retreat. So God intentionally places them where that's not an option. How many of you are in a season of your life where you believe that God has placed you in a position where going back is not an option? Like you're too far at the edge. Going back would mean I got to face Pharaoh. And Pharaoh can be whatever in your life that you are dealing with that has you in a place of enslavement. When let's read the scripture here in Exodus 14. It says, "Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Tell the Israelites to turn back and camp at Phaharathith between Migdal and the sea. You shall camp in front of Baal-zephon, opposite it by the sea. For Pharaoh will say of the Israelites, they are wandering aimlessly in the land. In the wilderness shut them in. Thus I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will chase after them, and I will be honored through Pharaoh and all of his army, and the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord." And they did so. Now, I said that God intentionally placed them where retreat wasn't an option, and that the position may look confusing, but it was strategic by God. Anytime the enemy can look and put eyes on you from wherever he's at to say, well,